Hey loves, welcome back to your girl's channel. If you want to see how I achieved this cute little rod set, then keep on watching. So just finished washing the hair. It is all clean. The next biggest step of this process is making sure that your hair is dry. Now, a lot of people like to do their rod set many different ways. Some people like to stretch their hair just to make it longer. I don't need to do that. I'm totally fine with the length comes out, so I don't want to apply heat. But it is very, very important to make sure that your hair is dry. You can rod your hair with it being wet. I just don't recommend that. I like my hair to at least be between 80 and 90% dry. I know in some areas it's still going to be damp, but you want it to be somewhat dry because water just makes your hair frizzy. It's not going to make it last. And the technique that I use to do my rod set is definitely not going to last if your hair is wet. You want to make sure that if your hair is wet, majority of it is wet because of the foam that we're going to be using, not because of like water. So I'm just going to let my hair like sit in this for probably like a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna just let it out and just kind of, do my little errands around the house and kind of just let my hair dry a bit. And then I'll come back on camera once it's like 80 to 90% dry, and we can go ahead and do this rod set. So yeah. All right, y'all, so let's get started. So your girl kind of left her hair out a little too long, so it's actually too dry. So we're just gonna spritz it just a little bit with water, guys. Not too much. Like I said, you do not, okay, I repeat, you do not want your hair drenched in water. This style will not last, okay? So just a little bit if your hair is super dry, because you do not want to comb it without some type of product. So now I'm going in with my Camille Rose leave-in conditioner. Y'all, I love this. I rave about this. It adds so much moisture and shine to the hair. And now I'm just going to add some Alway Naturals oil. This is my favorite oil. I actually think it really helps promote growth. So if you're struggling there, I highly recommend this oil. So now I'm just going to part my hair. No specific way of doing this. I just grab what I feel like is necessary, add a little bit of mousse. Y'all, this mousse goes a long way. Okay, as you can see, that one little pump did all that. So we're gonna comb it out, make sure it's all detangled, get that product through the hair, and now we're gonna like flat twist. Okay, so you're gonna like twist and then grab hair as you go, so it's like stuck to the scalp, if that makes sense. I don't do these perfect, so it does take a little practice if you don't know how to flat twist. I did originally do this hairstyle with individual twists. So if you don't know how to flat twist, you can just do individual twists. I just say don't do them too small. Kind of make them like somewhat kind of big. Just so like your curls are not too tight. Or if that's how you like it, then do your thing. But yeah, if you can't flat twist, then just go ahead and do individual twists. So we're going to keep twisting that, and you want to twist it very, very, very tight, guys. So when you let this out the next day, that curl can be very defined. Then we're going to go in with a cold rod. I got these from the hair store. You can get these from the hair store. They're super cheap. There's no specific way I roll this. I just roll it up and make sure it is nice and tight. And then we're going to clip it in. So guys, you're just going to keep going around in the front of your head. Like I said, there's no specific way I'm doing this. I kind of just make my parts to how I like it. Guys, you know your hair. You know how, if you make small parts or big parts, you should know how it would turn out. I know for me, when I make smaller parts, smaller flat twists, it is too tight and it doesn't allow my fro to be as big as I like. So I try to make my flat twists or twists somewhat big, like they're small. They're like medium. Is that the word? Medium. They're small, but they're not too small, but they're still kind of big at the same time. So we're going to call them medium. You need to make them medium. And yeah, so I just kind of make as many as I feel like I need to in the front of my head. I like more volume in the front just because the back of my head is thicker. So I don't really need a whole bunch of twists in the back like a couple will do, but in the front, I do need a little bit more twist. right, love, so I have made it to the center front of my head. I am parting out this little space because this hair will not be twisted. I'm going to just put these in rods without a twist, just because I find that when I twist this very front part of my head, the curl does not stay all day. I want to say like within an hour, those curls in the front of my head would have gone, and I hate that. So I found that if I just put these on the rods by itself, they stay all day and even probably days, just because the curls are a little bit tighter right here, and you kind of want your curls to be tight in the center of your face, just so the curl will last longer. So I do this method for only the front of my head. And also, this is where I want a lot of volume as well, so I like that I do it this way, just for this little piece of hair. y'all, so now we made it to the middle of my head. I do not do these in flat twists. I just specifically do these in little individual twists because I want to have the flexibility to put this hair either to the front or the back. The purpose of me flat twisting the front is because I want this hair to be in the front, and it just helps do that better. And same with the back. It's flat twisted in the back because I want it to strictly go down to the back, if that makes sense, okay? And I just want that flexibility in the middle. So I do individual twists. I do them sort of kind of big. Doesn't matter how big you do the parts, as long as you twisting it very tight and putting it on that cold rod tight, the curl will come out beautifully. Again, you have to know your hair. You have to know what works for your hair. You can sit here and watch me do this, but if you don't know your hair and you don't know what works for your hair, the hairstyle won't come out right. So know your hair. If you have thin hair, you're probably gonna want to do more twists just to give yourself more volume. I have very thick hair, so volume to me is not really important because I'm already gonna have that volume just due to my thickness. Now I know in the front my hair is a little bit thinner than the back, so I add more rods in the front for that volume. Get what I'm saying? So again, gotta know your hair, gotta know what works for you. So like I said, not doing too small of a twist, but just kind of a big enough side that's gonna make the curl really defined. And we're just going in with the mousse and parting as needed. In my head, y'all, I do not have a lot of rods in my head. Promise you I don't, because I do not like all those rods in my head. I am getting ready to call it a night, so I am gonna sleep with this overnight, y'all. I usually do this rod set around like 6 o'clock. It is 8. I've done it this late before too, but I usually try to do this at 6 just so I can get a lot of hours in to dry. That's why it's very important that you use like a little bit of a mousse, but one pump of this, like it goes a long way. Like, it's a lot, so just be very careful when you use this. But if you're someone that doesn't like to sleep with it's hard for you to sleep with a cap on your head when you're wearing rods, I understand that, and I have a hack for you. So what I do is I just put a satin pillowcase on my pillow and just lay on that. And I'm telling you, y'all, it's so much better than trying to put a cap over this. It's so uncomfortable. You're gonna be waking up all night, so I just go without. Just make sure I put that satin pillowcase on my pillow, and voila. And I do have my fan on too, just to make sure like it's drying while I'm asleep, so that really does help. And when I wake up in the morning, it's dry. And I usually say, as long as you're using mousse, like mousse helps your hair to dry faster, I think. And just like not using so much product. As you can see, I didn't use a lot of product. I just used the oil, the mousse, and my leave-in conditioner, and very little bit of leave-in conditioner. Now I'm just gonna like add some oil to my scalp, just because I know most people, when they take these rods out, they put oil on it, but I don't do that. I like my oil to already be on my scalp, working through while I'm sleeping. So when I wake up in the morning, it's already like has penetrated my scalp. It's already in there, and I don't have to worry about it the next day. I just feel like when I put it on the same day that I'm gonna take it out, I feel like it weighs the curls down and they fall faster. So I don't do it that way. But yeah, we're gonna go to sleep, and then when I wake up in the morning, we'll come back and see how it turned out. Alright, y'all, so it is the next day. This has officially been in my head for over 8 hours, maybe even 10 hours. So it's good and dry. I don't need to add any more oil, just because I told y'all I always add oil at night and not when I take them out. So we're just gonna take them out like so. Look at that, y'all. The going through it on this Saturday. Like, I am sick, but not like sick with a cold, my allergies, but the day must go on. Y'all, I have to say this Rodset came out super good. I don't know, because it just sat on my head longer, because it is like later in the day, guys. It's like the afternoon, so it's not early in the morning when I would usually take them out. So my eyes like itching. And just pull them out. Boing. I am very rough, guys. I'm not taking these out gently just because I'm going to break these apart anyway. So it's like, what's the point? Okay, all the curls are out. So this is just how it looks, guys. And now we're gonna pull them apart. So I start with these 3 up here that weren't twisted, and I just break these a piece. Now I'm going to say this to you guys: if you want this hairstyle to last a full week without you having to re-rod it every other day, I would not pull it apart the way that I'm pulling it apart. I would probably pull it apart like day by day. Like, you want to do a little bit here and there. But if you don't care and you're someone that does your own hair and you don't mind re-rodding it like every other day, then definitely do it how I'm doing it. But I don't mind re-rodding every other day. I want the biggest volume with this hairstyle, so if you don't pull it apart, the curls apart, it's not going to be as big. The curls are going to be super tight. Yes, you will have that really defined look if you don't pull them apart, but I don't really do this hairstyle for like a defined look. I do it for like the shape of the fro. I like how it looks. I like how it forms on my face. So as you can see, that's how that's looking. And y'all, if you can feel, my hair is super moisturized. Like, the texture on it feels so soft. I don't know if that's just due to the oil or that's due to the foam I use. I was originally using the Cream of Nature one. I'll pop in a picture. But I felt like that one was like drying my hair out, so I switched to the Camille Rose, and I can actually say I really do like this one better, and I actually think I see a difference in it as well, so that's a plus. So you just want to continue just like kind of pulling it apart as you take it out. Like I said, I'm not doing this like carefully because I'm not trying to keep the definition of the curls. So if it gets messy, frizzy, I don't care, because all that's gonna play into how big your fro is. So yeah. Okay, I think the front is out. I still feel like a little few twists up here, but no worries. At the end, we're gonna take a comb, so it like doesn't even matter. Now we're gonna move on to the back, and you're just gonna start taking these. I do pull them apart as soon as I untwist them, just because I feel like going back in. So you're gonna continue to do this. And I would love to try the method with my whole head curl rod, but I just don't have the time for that. I don't feel like curl rodding my whole head. So when I tried this method and it actually looked cute and worked, I was like, yep, here it is. Now, like I said in the beginning, if you want this hairstyle to last, do not fluff it out as hard because the curls will fall and it won't last. So do it at your own pace, okay? Yeah, this came out really, really good. Like, this is probably the best that ever came out. Probably because my hair was like freshly washed, and when I tried that new foam, my hair was like dirty when I did it. So, but yeah, I just keep fluffing it, keep pulling the curls apart. But this is it, guys. This is how I achieved that look. This is it. And you just kind of move the pieces to the back. And yeah, this is my Rodset, my Twistout Rodset. So I did want to provide you with a few tips on how to preserve it. So like I said in the beginning, just please make sure you're not picking your curl off a little too much, or it won't last very long. And that just means, like, you see this curl here, if I pick it apart too many times, right, you see it already has gotten frizzy. It's not gonna last that long. So how to preserve it is just let the curls be. Of course, fluff it out to, you know, your desire, but just keep in mind, the more you fluff, it's not gonna last that long. So just kind of keep that in mind. I don't want you to do this hairstyle, you're like, oh girl, it didn't last. You probably fluffed it out too much, or you used too much product. It's always one or the other. How I wear this at night, I will put it in a high puff, pineapple, whatever you want to call it. You can use a scrunchie, you can use a ponytail holder or a cap, however you want to do it. I'll probably insert a video on how I put it up at night, but this is how you want to sleep on it, and then put a bonnet on and go to bed. When you wake up in the morning and you take it out, just fluff it like that, and it'll go back exactly like this. It will have like that little mark in it from the scrunchie or ponytail holder, but throughout the day it will come out, so I wouldn't worry about that. As far as like any product, do not add any product to this style when it's complete, unless it's like a hairspray or holding spray, something to hold the curls. You want to refrain from using any like water-based product, because it's just going to make it frizzy and make the curls fall. So I just recommend you using oil. I usually oil my scalp every 2 days, so that's what I recommend. Or just, you know, your hair, if your hair is dry, just add some oil to it. But I don't recommend you adding any like product to it. Just let the hairstyle be. But I think that's it. I think that's like all my tips. I definitely like the Camille Rose mousse over the Cream of Nature one. I think a little bit goes a long way. As y'all saw in the previous clips, like I did one pump and it was a lot of product, guys. So I highly recommend that one. It is a little bit more pricier than the Cream of Nature one. I think that one was $11.99. The Cream of Nature one is like $4.99, $5.99. But like I said, that one dries out your hair. So I recommend Camille Rose. Y'all already know I already use Camille Rose for my leave-in conditioner, so it's really good, and I think it really made the look come together. I think this is the best twist Rodset I have done in the past few weeks, and it's probably because of that mousse. So I recommend. But yeah, y'all, that is it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If so, be sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps your girl on here on YouTube, pushing me through the algorithm. But also, if you have any questions about this hairstyle, or maybe you want to see a more natural hairstyle looks from me, please put them in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to answer. But I thank y'all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.